Have you ever just looked at the world? I mean, really looked. From the way the seasons change to a spiderweb glistening in the morning, and just felt this sense of perfect, intricate design? Well, today we're diving into a really profound spiritual idea from Islam that speaks directly to that feeling. It's called Mizān, or divine balance. And it gives us this incredible way of looking at a relationship with the world, especially in a time of, well, excess. This is powerful. This verse from the Quran basically sets the stage for our entire conversation. And you'll notice, it's not just some pretty poetry. It's laid out as a cosmic fact and then a direct command. The universe has a built-in balance, a fundamental law. And our job, our responsibility, is not to mess with. So what is Mizān exactly? It's this core belief that the entire universe, the whole shebang, was created in perfect proportion and harmony. Think of it like a divinely tuned instrument, where every single piece, from a super galaxy down to a quark, is in this incredible state of equilibrium. And it's not just a physics thing, it's a moral and spiritual principle that we're actually asked to live by. Okay, so it's one thing to have a definition, right? But to really get it, to feel the sheer scale of Mizān, we've got to look up. Because this principle, it really starts on a cosmic level, woven right into the fabric of the universe itself. And this verse just doubles down on that idea. It reinforces that nothing is random. From an Islamic perspective, the laws of physics, the way planets orbit, the very constants that make life itself possible, it's all part of a very deliberate, precisely measured design. This isn't chaos, it's a cosmos, and it's built on divine intention. Now, this cosmic balance isn't just something floating out there in space. It's right here under our feet, in the unbelievably complex systems of our own planet. Think about it. The food chain, how every single species relies on another. The cycles that clean our air and water. The way our forests and oceans literally regulate the climate. These aren't just, biology facts. In this worldview, they're signs, little reminders of Mizān, calling for us to just stop, be in awe, and protect them. So for thousands, millions of years, this whole planetary system, it just worked. It maintained its harmony. But that delicate, perfect equilibrium, well, it's in trouble now. The story of Mizān isn't just about how perfect the balance is, it's also about how that balance got broken. And boom, the tone just shifts completely. Verses like this one frame the environmental problems we're facing today in a really stark way. It directly connects what it calls corruption, on land, in the sea, to what human hands have done. It's a profound statement, and a huge dose of accountability. And this leads us to a really key term, facade. It translates to something like corruption, decay, or mischief. And this concept directly links our modern environmental crises to that idea of a broken balance. So things like climate instability, species extinction, pollution, these aren't just policy issues, they are seen as symptoms of facade, a deep spiritual transgression against the natural limits of the earth. So this totally flips the script, right? It suggests the crisis isn't just physical, it's spiritual. The imbalance that we see out in the world actually stems from an imbalance inside of us. It's what happens when our desire for control pushes out our instinct for care, when greed replaces gratitude, and when wastefulness just steamrolls wisdom. The external world is just a mirror of that internal chaos. Okay, so if our behavior is what threw things off balance, well, that means our behavior could also be what helps put it back, right? And for guidance on how to do that, the Islamic tradition points to the life of the Prophet Muhammad as a kind of roadmap, a practical, real-world model for living a life of moderation. I mean, listen to this. It's so simple, but so profound. This advice on something as basic as eating, it's about moderation. It suggests this mindfulness where we're not just stuffing ourselves, but we're consuming just enough. And this is the key part, leaving room for life itself, for breath. That's Mizān on a super personal level. And this one's even more striking. Just wrap your head around that for a second. You could be sitting next to a basically infinite source of water, a huge flowing river, and you're still told not to waste a single drop. This shows that conservation isn't about scarcity. It's a principle. It's an act of respect for the resource itself, no matter how much of it you have. So when you put all these pieces together, you get this really clear blueprint for a different way of living. A life that's defined by simplicity, not by having more and more stuff. A life of careful conservation and stewardship, of taking care of nature. And really, it all comes down to finding what's called the middle path, living with balance in absolutely everything, from what we buy to how we feel. All right, so we've talked big picture, cosmic scale, and we've looked at a historical blueprint. But what about us, right here, right now? The final step is bringing this huge, grand idea right down to earth and into our own lives. At the end of the day, living with Mizān isn't something you just believe in. It's something you do. It's an active, conscious practice. And every time you choose to consume a little less, to not be wasteful, or to treat the world around you with care, it's seen as more than just a nice thing to do. It's an act of worship. It's a conscious choice to get back in sync with the harmony of the universe. And so I'll leave you with this question, just for you to think about. Looking at your own life, how you spent your time, your money, your energy, your relationship with the world around you, where is there maybe a little bit of an imbalance? And what's one small, deliberate choice you could make, maybe even today, to start restoring your own Mizān?